Hi, and welcome to another episode of my Expansion Scapes podcast, where I talk about all things that we encounter on this cool journey we're on of self-expansion. I'm Olga Aydınoğlu, and I'm a shamanic healing practitioner, explorer, artist, and author. In this episode, I wanted to talk about our spirit guides and a little bit about how they do what they do. And what I'm going to share today is based on my conversation with my spirit guides yesterday. And even though I kind of didn't really learn anything dramatically different, somehow really helpful for me to see myself as not alone and how much I am really being helped by my spirit guides. And it made me feel like I am surrounded by this system of support, and in knowing that, I felt calmer and more confident. So I hope that by me sharing this conversation I had with my guides yesterday can help you feel more supported and more confident on whatever journey that you're on right now, doing whatever it is that you're doing. So yesterday I had this sitting with my four directions, the souls of my north, east, south, and west directions, and I was asking for guidance about finishing my book, which I'm having trouble finishing. It's pretty much the end of the book, and I'm just wondering how to end it gracefully, because the more I try to end it, the more stuff comes up to write, and I just can't create an ending right now. So after I sat there and I got my guidance and messages, and mostly it was something about what is blocking me from doing that. And so I said thank you, and I went on a long walk in my village to digest the messages and the help. And as I'm walking on this road, there are mountains ahead of me and a field on my left. I see this hawk, a gigantic hawk. It went from my left side, from the field side, very high above me, and then it just went forward and above me, and it started to fly in the same direction as I was walking, and but above me and in front of me. And one of my spirit guides, that was the first ever spirit guide that I ever met specifically, not like, oh, this is my spiritual team, okay, great, but the first spirit guide that I've ever met with the help of my shamanism teacher was a hawk guide, actually, a guide that was presenting himself as a hawk. And I want to say that when you meet your guides, and you have, let's say you have curiosity to meet you guides closer, more personally, I want to say that like even though my guide, for example, showed himself as a hawk, and I often see him flying right above me when I close my eyes and I meditate, I see him flying right here. But having said that, he presents himself as a hawk. I know that he is more complex. Not to say that hawks are not complex or cool enough. Yeah, I guess I'm speaking to anyone who really likes to dive deep into who we are and who our spirit guides are. I feel the soul of this guide who presents himself as a hawk, and he is like deeper and wider than that, but he needs to show me something so that I can see him as a kind of whole and complete one little picture, because I need do that with my human mind, to make it easier for me to communicate with them. And on the other hand, if they present themselves to you as a certain thing, then also it's as simple as, yeah, they're that certain thing. And are we more complex? Yes, we are. Am I a human being right now? Yes. Am I more complex than that? Yes. Does it mean that being a human being is not complex or cool enough? No. So yeah, letting both realities exist at the same time, I would say, is probably the freeing option that you can take. So there was this hawk flying above me, and I immediately connected to my guide, who's the hawk, and the hawk was flying just exactly the way that I see my spirit guide fly above me when I close my eyes. And I often see him when we're in a car and he's protecting us, as for example, my husband drives and I'm next to him. I also see the hawk. I feel the hawk above me. And so I thought that he was only a protector guide. But he showed me something else. He was flying, gliding above me. And even though that particular hawk was not specifically my guide, but the coincidence was amazing, and I had no doubts that this was my spirit team talking to me, because I had this overwhelming warm feeling in my heart and just a knowing. And yes, that was not specifically my spirit guide, but it was helpful that the hawk was there. And then my spirit guide asked me, what do you think the hawk sees when he's up there? And I just imagined what the hawk sees, and he sees way more stuff than me. Because he's way up there, he can see a lot of the landscape. He can see what's happening a long distance away from me. While I can only see the street in which I'm walking, I can see the trees around me. Yes, I can see the mountains far away, but I still am mostly focused. I can see the things that are right here in front of me. But the hawk was flying high up there, and he could see just a lot of things right ahead, a lot. And I would say in detail too. I don't know why. So the hawk was actually replying to my earlier question about my book and my frustration about the book, that why do I have to heal this thing in order to finish my book? Can't I just, sometimes skip stuff and just finish the book? And I don't want to participate in so much healing for every single thing that I do. I don't want to. Can it just be easy sometimes? And yeah, I didn't have enough patience, so I was complaining and was frustrated. And so the hawk was showing and explaining to me, look, we, your spirit guides, we are like that hawk. We see far ahead of you, and we see the terrain. We see a lot of stuff, what's going to happen later in your life. And it's not like fortune telling and knowing the future, but it's more about, they showed me a chessboard and a chess player who is really good at what they do, and they know they can calculate a lot of steps ahead. Like someone who is a good strategy planner, a strategy player in chess, you need to constantly think of many, many, many steps ahead. And basically, that's what they're doing. They can see a lot of steps ahead. They know that if I'm going to take this action, I'm probably going to meet this people, for example. If I'm going to meet this people, probably I'm going to engage in certain activities with this people. And you don't need to really be a fortune teller to be able to see that. It's not about knowing the future, because in some way you can, and I feel in some way you can't, because I have my freedom of will. So they were showing me, look, you want to finish your book without healing this thing that we showed you today. And, yeah, that's fine. But we're doing this. It's not even we, but I guess, yeah, they could help me just skip over it and finish the book, and that's it. Yeah, I'm feeling like that's possible. Or I could try harder and just force it and finish it, and it's done. But they said, look, if you're not going to heal this particular thing right now, finishing your book, you're going to write more books later. You're going to create more art later. You're going to create more stuff later. So if you will be making more of that, and doesn't it make, like, we can see that in the future, that you're going to be making more of that. And not only more of that, but it's going to be more noisy, and it's going to be just more. And if you don't remove, like, this pebble out of your shoe, and you'll keep walking, and you'll gain speed, for example, you'll run maybe, wouldn't you rather get this pebble out of your shoe right now, so that the journey that you have ahead of you is smoother? And they also said that in those steps, when you're going to be creating other books and other creations and other artworks and things, you will also be faced with having the need to heal certain things. But it would be so much easier and smoother if you heal this thing that's right in front of your face right now, rather than putting it, like, to do it later. And then in the road ahead, you're gonna have to deal with those problems, but also this problem that you didn't want to deal with today. So they're saying that we are looking very far ahead of you, and we are preparing you for what's ahead, so that the road can be smoother. And I don't know, I feel like it's not such a really new thing to learn that this is what our spirit guides do. But when I felt it, especially with the chessboard analogy, and when I felt that analogy, I felt a little bit stupid and kind of like, yeah, I know I can't calculate a lot of steps ahead of me. Maybe I should. Maybe I shouldn't need to delegate this to you. And then they said, no. Wait a minute. Don't devalue your journey like that. Don't devalue what you do on your everyday basis, because you're here, like, on land, and you have these steps. And I saw them like chessboard. You're on this square right now. This is your arena of action, and it's difficult enough. It's a very difficult square of action. You cannot handle this square plus overseeing all the other squares at the same time. What you need, all your focus and power to deal with this one square per time. And you need to do it from right here, from land, from where you are. You can't do it from above. You can't do it from the side. You can't do it jumping over it. You need to focus on your current one step. And they said that we're looking at you, and whatever you're doing in every little square that you pass, it's a huge kind of inner, sometimes it's an inner war, or sometimes it's an inner transformation or a healing. But it's just, they're saying it's a really huge and important thing for you to do in every little square that you find yourself in. And you may be frustrated that why is this little square so damn difficult? But they said you need all your focus and all your energy to be here in this square and to not devalue this little square. If if you can't pass the square, you can't go further. And you need to completely kind of like finish the square in order to go to the next one, because if you don't, it will be more difficult. And I was walking still and looking at the hawk in front of me, and I was asking, okay, well, can you guide me what I should be doing in this square of my book that I find myself facing the difficulties and the healing I need to do so that I can finish this book. So can you guide me at least in this one little square? I don't need to see everything. Okay, I believe you. I trust you. Thanks for, having my back and front and everything. But can you please guide me more specifically in this particular square where I find myself? And I kid you not, but I was walking, and as I told you before, there was a field to my left. But as I was walking, there was a big building on my way here to my left. And as I asked them, can you guys just guide me like specifically regarding this square I'm on? And I was walking, and as I asked that question, that building was gone from my eyesight because I was passing it, and that field opened up again. And I saw this horse standing in the middle of the field under a tree, I guess because it was shady there. And just one horse in the middle of the field. And I felt immediately the meaning of what they were telling me. They said, be free like the horse within that square of your current arena of what you're doing. So they said, go sit down, go sit down with your book and be free. Experience yourself free. Do whatever the hell you want. That's going to be the perfect ending to your book. But you've got to focus on this square fully and completely. And rest assured that we got your bigger picture. Your mind can't be everywhere at all times, and it doesn't need to be. Your mind and your freedom and your energy needs to be right here in this little square, which is not little at all. It's like your arena right now. Once you finish this book, there will be another square, and there will be another square, and there will be another square. But rest assured that we are watching over the bigger picture. You don't need to worry about that so much. So sometimes, of course, I tune into the bigger picture as well. But overall, it was just such an amazing feeling to know that someone is constantly looking out for all the stuff that probably is going to happen. Because again, I really don't think it's not about like fortune telling and telling the future, but it's more like chess. Like they know that, oh, I'm working on this, so naturally this and this is going to happen. It's just natural that it's just it's just logical. It's just logical turn of events. And then this is going to happen, and then then she's going to have to deal with this, and then she's going to have to deal with that. So it's just amazing to feel how we have these spirit guides and who are flying ahead of us like hawks, and they're looking at the terrain of our future events, what we're going to experience, our journey ahead of us, and they're like, we got you, we got you. I also felt like a little bit like maybe the military moving forward in some space, in some landscape. So you have your airplanes and they need to look around. They go ahead in front of you. They're like spy airplanes or something. They go ahead in front of you and they check the terrain. And then there's the heavy artillery that's probably like the last, I don't know. And then there's all the heavy and slow trucks, maybe with food and with construction materials, maybe with temporary camp stuff, or like the ancient Romans, when the military was going somewhere, the soldiers would also build a road on, like, to walk. So they wouldn't just be going forward, but they would be also building a road at the same time, so that more stuff can come in. Sometimes the things with food, or also just creating a road network, because they were expanding and they were strengthening the infrastructure of the landscape they were expanding into. Expansion Scapes. Yeah, so then I was seeing how nobody is alone in this system. We are all part. We are all together. And even though somebody looks like they're very slow and heavy walking on the ground, you might think that, oh, you know, they're not cool enough, or they're not strong enough, they're not fast enough, they can't fly. But they need to do something that's necessary for this whole group of beings moving forward. And the hawk that's flying, he can't build a road, or he can't build a campsite, or he can't build a building on the ground, which is perhaps, you know, part of the purpose of why we're doing this trip all together. And I also felt like it's not just my team, but a lot of us as collectives that have similar desires, similar dharma, like plans of what we want to do here, desires of what we want to do here. I put myself in the collective of those who wish to discover themselves and to do things with more self-awareness, in a more healed way, in a more free way, with more joy and health and things like that. So I feel like we're all kind of like that, but we all have different camps. Like, some of us are on horses, you know, some of us are flying, and some of us are with donkeys carrying, I don't know, food or clothing or carpets. I don't know, I feel like we're even like a caravan or something. So, okay, that's enough of that. I think I shared the most important topic, I think, for this episode was that you're not alone. You're not alone. You have support. They love you, your spiritual team. And not only, you have way more support than that. Someone's watching out for you. Someone's watching out what's ahead. There's a reason why you feel stuck here in this square. And I'm hearing, like, you're not stuck. You're moving through the square. You're doing the thing that's the most important thing for your journey right now. It's like every one of those squares is a diamond that is extremely valuable. Without creating this diamond, you can't go and create and enjoy the next diamond. So I'm just listening to my guys now. So don't devalue or don't depreciate the situation you're currently in, because this current situation is so valuable. It's like a diamond in your whole kind of existence, in your whole journey. This current square is more valuable than you think right now. And when you pass this really difficult square of where you're at right now, and you're maybe a few squares ahead, you look back at the square and say, wow, thank God that I was facing this thing back like 3-5 squares back, because that gave me the ability to, let's say, receive and enjoy this stuff here 5 squares in front. Or this gave me the ability to move faster or freer or easier or lighter, where I find myself right now 5 squares ahead of that one. So yeah, I guess the message is also like, don't depreciate where you are right now, and don't devalue or make yourself small, or your situation where you are right now small. This is not a small situation. It is so important that you have that many beings, like spiritual team members, hawks and stuff, flying around and checking stuff for you. Why? Because they also see that what you're doing right now is so important, and it's important for them too. Because they're on this journey with you together. They're invested in it too. So like all this team is rooting for you, helping you. And now I'm getting like football team analogy of somebody's doing your laundry, you know, someone's being your trainer, someone's being your coach, someone's figuring out the transportation of your team, and somebody's like figuring out all this stuff just so that you can play this match right here on this square. And after you're done, you go to the next square, you play another match. Okay. So I hope this made somebody out there feel a little bit more supported, and maybe less frustrated about possibly being stuck in a current square. But know that this square is a diamond, is an important square. It's so important. It's as important as every cell in your body, because every cell creates you. So yeah, value your square. Okay. Thanks for listening. If you like this kind of content, click like and subscribe. See you later for more stories. Bye bye.